Why hello there everybody, welcome to Iberia, I am Wolf and this is the second episode of my devlog. So this time we are going to be diving into a little bit more of the development of Valendor, and so I want to show you what I've been working at over the past week. Okay, so last week I released the devlog on Friday, but it was recorded previously, so I am just going to show you exactly what I have been working on, and maybe you guys are gonna like the result, maybe you're not, but you know, this is gonna be a discussion, right? So this time I have a beautiful new campaign here that I can actually get in and play. So I'm already in there. Later I'm gonna show you how to join. Well, actually no, let's do that. Here we are, ladies and gents. So if I now go into find campaigns, I'm gonna find this campaign here. This is the map that I was showing you the other day. You can see that there is no admin, so I'm not an admin or anything like that. I was mid development, so I really hope that it will kind of work. So but this is gonna be it. So we can now choose one of the factions, and it's like, can I choose? Oh, I can actually not choose the Crimson Star Legion because my other account, or the admin account, has the Crimson Star Legion. I just don't have any indication that it's not selectable, but we're gonna have to do that. You can see here on the left the stats or the modifiers for that faction. So we have Birkari, and they are immune to desert attrition. They have more combat capabilities in the desert, and you know, market fee, trade agreement cost. They are more about like cavalry, deserts, and trade. That's what I really wanna do that. Here, cavalry units have plus 10% speed and 10%. This is just like a description. I need to remove it. I haven't removed it yet. But it does. This is not true. Here, actually, I want to go for Kalfar because I'm gonna need to test some stuff. So let's look here at some pretty cool faction designs. I really like the Brotherhood of the Great Hunt. It's really a good shield right there. But we have others, like, let me see, the Axe Breaker Raiders. That's kind of cool. The Horned Forest Dynasty. It's kind of cool. Let me check here. But I kind of like the Jormungand Guard. It's kind of cool. I like the colors, and I like the shield with the snake and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. So let's choose our location. So this is the map that I've built for the test. This is not going to be the map that we're going to be using on on the test server. Okay, it's gonna be another map, very likely. I just decided, you know, I just made the map because I needed to test. So here I already know that there is a player right there. I need to actually take that out because I don't want people to see, but I'm going to join on position 16. I cannot select position 18 because it's taken, so we're gonna do that. But you can see, like, there's a lot of other positions that we could take. Now let's confirm and join. Oh no. Okay. Oh no. All right, I'm gonna show you this part. Let me check what we got over here. Whoops, I did something. So let me check what error we got. All right. So we got a 500 on the, what server is this? This is matches on the join matches. I don't know why. Let me check the log here. You guys can see how this kind of works. So the log, maybe we can fix this right here. So faction ID, start location index. Yes. Join match error. There is no unique or exclusion constraint matching the on conflict specification. What conflict were you having? No, I don't think I'm gonna be able to fix this right now. So right now I would just put this on the agent and tell it, look, when I was doing this happened. But if it was a simple query error, I would do it, but right now yeah, not really, not so much. I don't really know where this is. Okay, whatever. So to continue the video really fast, I'm just gonna skip that really. And you saw here the one bug. I was just going to show the game, and then I have one bug. But okay, let's go here to my campaigns, and let's go. It's in development, all right. So I've been making some changes, and I just need to fix that joining. So here we are on the game. I can, yeah, this is a visual bug as well. I haven't gotten to fix it, you know, not very important. I've been working on this view essentially, like really close to the map, but this is essentially it. There is no fog of war when there is no unexplored tiles. This is simply because I was working on the map, so I disabled all of that. And right now I've done this. I think my cousin saw this thing being I showed him how it was, and it was quite different. So the tiles were just the tiles, and I just changed the whole thing because the performance was quite bad for the map. So essentially what I was doing is I had a 3D layer for my armies with 3JS that I was using when programming it. So I had the 3JS layer, and then I had a phaser layer. So I had actually I think I had two phaser layers, which was awful. Okay, so what happens essentially is the 3JS layer was putting the armies on it, right? And then I had the phaser layer with all of the tiles. But this is a 300 by 200 map. So here are, I think, 60,000 tiles. These are 60,000 tiles, guys. So the map is huge, and this is my city. This is my territory, right? So 60,000 tiles. And on phaser, I was actually rendering each tile as a single thing. So it was 60,000 things that we had here. Let me just check the usage. Look, 340 megabytes usage. This is amazing. This is really good. While, for example, this World War III game, 688, and it varies. Like sometimes it's at 500 and something, sometimes it's at 700. But this, I'm really happy with this result with memory usage of 340. But it might be due to errors. I'm not really sure. So this is what I was doing. I had to change that because 60,000 things in the screen at the same time, that's a lot. And so then when you were just scrolling around, you could feel the lag, right? It was really laggy, scrolling around, scrolling down, scrolling in, and it was actually buggy. The scroll was actually buggy. So I decided, okay, let's do away with all this. And it's kind of painful because I already had most of the things built in. So if I select here an army, right now I don't have any move option here. Oh, I clicked my mouse unintentionally, but I don't have a move option there. And so what essentially happens is I have to do all of those things again, and I'm also rebuilding the UI. So, well, actually, I'm rebuilding the UI, and that is why I don't have the action. But even if I had, so for example, I have here the buttons, they don't work, but even if I add, I still don't have the arrows, the movement arrows and whatnot. So it's gonna be like that. So I had two options here, left click, okay, it is selected, right click, and then move the army there, or like this. And I feel that having the option like you click move and then you select where you want to go, I think that is more deliberate, and I would prefer that. This is not a high stakes, really fast game where you actually need that speed. So I think it's better to just left click, left click, and then get the arrow, and then left click on the place where you want your army to actually go. But that is it. So, but this was like really difficult to make the change. Well, really difficult, sort of, kind of. But I just did away with the phaser layer altogether. So I removed any phaser layers that I had, because then I was trying to do, okay, I want to have a 3D layer with the terrain so that I only have one layer in 3JS. So this is doing all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna show you here my folder. Where is it? It is right here. So this is the folder where I have all of the game stuff, right? And so if we go to the tiles. Where are the tiles? Here are the tiles. So these are all of the tiles that I have, and so this is what you're seeing rendered on the screen. Well, not quite. I have props as well, but this is what you're seeing on the screen. So for example, here I actually have some steps, right? And I apologize for this being here, but yeah, I'm still moving things around, so I've been working on it. And we have this, so you're seeing this, right? And before you would actually have this, and now you have something that it's kind of like it mixes around with the tiles around it. So I'm essentially using a technique called alpha meshing, and I am essentially meshing or getting together like the tiles that are around, so they kind of fit in together, and I think they fit in quite nicely here, and it's kind of cool. And it's the same thing here with the desert. You just can see that there are horizontal lines, there are vertical lines. The desert is kind of messy, and I kind of want to do that. The reason why there are several lines is because I also applied a rotation to the tiles, so that if I have one variation of the tile, as I had here, right, I'm actually applying rotation. So there's 4 different directions that the tile can be directed in, and so there is a seed sort of that will then tell the tile you should be turned 90 degrees or 180 degrees, and essentially that is how it's being done. So I have 4 variations of the step style, and that means that I get 4 times 4, that is 16. So I have 16 tiles essentially, because they kind of rotate. It's kind of like cheating, but it kind of works. And it's the same with the planes. So I have 5 plane tiles. I have 5 plane tiles. So what it means is that I actually have 20 possible tiles, right? So for this I have 4, for this I have 4, for this I have 4, and so on and so forth. This is something that I'm going to expand, and I'm eventually going to change a bit, because I don't want them to have all of this detail. I want them to be a little bit less detailed, and then I will pop props on it. So that is kind of like the first layer, where we have just sorry, I just got an email and I was like, okay, maybe I need to pay attention to this. It's not urgent right now, so I'm on my lunch break, so I'm still gonna be there. Anyway, so then I still need to fix some things here. So we have that, and then we have the beaches, which I'm also gonna fix them because I don't really like how it is currently. I really don't. So I'm gonna fix them up quite a bit. Anyhow, I think that's kind of it. So alpha meshing, that's essentially what's happening here on the background, and that's the first layer of my 3JS. Then I have the next layer. I added props. So you can see here like a lot of trees. So this is a forest. The trees are a brighter green and whatnot. They are really cool, actually. I really like these trees. Well, kind of. I kind of like these trees. I want different trees. I want some trees that are a little bit more consistent with the map, because they kind of look like they were just plopped there. Well, some of them do, some of them don't. But yeah, they don't have a shadow. I think that's the problem, and they don't blend into the terrain. So I don't know. I'm gonna do something about it. I still don't know what, but it's not high on my list of priorities. And then here we have a jungle, which the trees are bigger, they are different, they are darker. It's kind of cool here. I really like how the jungle trees also came out, even though this is not the final thing. I'm going to change it. But this is essentially how it's going to be. It's going to be a prop system here, and you can see like some props that go onto the beach and whatnot. It's kind of fun. All right, so yeah, that's the props, and then we added like prop density as well. So for example, there's a jungle tile there. What is jungle? This is plains, this is jungle. There's just one jungle, a single jungle tile right there, and there's a lot of trees, jungle trees right there. Interesting. Okay, anyway, there's prop density, right? So the deserts have a low prop density. There's like a cactus, there's cactus, There's some rocks, there's some dirt mounds, just a few things along the desert. And then we have on the plains as well, it's also low density. You can see that there's still some drawings of other things beneath. And I think if I remove that, it will actually give the world a little bit better definition for the props. Then we have the mountains, of course. They don't look so good, but again, I think it's because of the background that it doesn't look so good. And if I change the background, it's gonna be fine. I could have also added height to the tiles, so a tile can be higher than other tiles and whatnot. And I might actually do that. Like every tile has a certain height, and then hills have a little bit higher, and then the mountains have a little bit higher, and then you kind of see that verticality to the map, which might be interesting. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing some verticality to it, because everything's like kind of very flat, but at the same time, it is supposed to be like top down, kind of mimicking a board game, but not really. So I want to have like a 2.5D kind of vibe going on. But overall, if I were to play a game that is kind of like this, I would be like, you know what? If the mechanics are there, it's not half bad. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I think there's a lot of room for improvement here. And so, yeah, I'm going to be doing that. One model that I actually did really enjoy is the model for the trees in the tundra. I think it's really, really cool. Now, I took these from some images online. Okay, so yeah, do that what you will. Do with that what you will. But yeah, this is not really cool. So I would like to actually buy some assets that are actually decent and put them on the map. But that is something like after we get a proof of concept that people say, yep, this is good, let's proceed. I am not going to be putting a lot of money into it, or I'm not going to be putting yeah, you know, because I want to be able to push this as far as I can without actually spending any. Well, I'm already spending a little bit, but you know, without spending much more. You know, if it comes to the point where, yeah, okay, this is it, then I can invest on it a little bit more. But yeah, we got this. So anyway, that was the second layer. It was the props. I think the props look kind of cool, right? Now we needed another layer, which is the cities and the structures. So I don't have any map structures around, and I kind of got rid of the development tools. Well, I didn't get rid of the development tools. The endpoints are all still there, so the APIs are all still there, but I don't have them on the screen, and I'm gonna need that. So the next layer was the cities. Now the cities was quite difficult to actually add in, and the armies, it was a nightmare. I don't really know why. But I was having a lot of problems with like the verticality of it, where things were getting on top of other things, and that was like super annoying to actually get. But eventually I got to it, and I was able to get the cities done. And then we have another layer with the selection rings. Look at the selection rings. I think they look kind of cool. The army, especially this one, not so much. I like the army a little bit more because it's smaller, it's better. For the cities, well, it got larger. But anyhow, I kind of like how it looks. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. Then we have the army here. That is the army badge. So the army is selected. Now it's not selected. Now it's selected. Now it's not selected. I still haven't really done a lot with this. Right, so it is really big, like it's a big clunky piece of UI that I have here that I want to change. And for the cities, it's kind of the same thing, and we have actually here a few things, right? So that I'm still like working on these things and whatnot. So today I will probably, or tonight I will probably work some more on this and actually get this to be a little bit better. Like before, I had some buttons here to expand and grow the city, and you might be thinking, what is the difference between expand and grow? Because it's almost the same thing. Well, expand is for the borders, so you could select any tile around it. I don't really want to do that. I don't think it is going to do anything, so and Then you have grow, which is to grow your population. So the population is not dynamic, okay? Because at the end of the day, I wanted players to actually have control over the population of their cities, because population draws food. So if you have little food and then you start recruiting a lot of units, oh, by the way, units actually use population, so you need population to recruit units. Something from Total War. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that, but I would like to have that. So if you lose units, you're actually losing your population, and when you disband units, I want the unit count to go towards your city as well, so that you can also transfer population from one city to the next. But it's not really needed, because you can just get to the city and grow. If you have food, you can grow your city. That's essentially it. And then the population will consume food. They will give you taxation, which is already there, and it will also consume food, give you gold, give you influence. So the more population you have, the more influence you're going to be getting, which is also really, really good. What else? Yeah, then it was the borders. The borders are actually not hard to do. What was kind of difficult to do was like the rings, the selection rings. They were not easy to get done, because the rings were getting beneath the city and sometimes on top of the unit, and that kind of sucked. By the way, the models, it's like if somebody out there is a 3D artist and they want to do models, like I would really appreciate it. Models with the walk animation that are pretty good, I would really appreciate that. So if you could just do like the 4 one for each faction type, and then if it's cool, I would probably want to pay to get some more later down the line, like I discussed before, later when we have something good. But for now, this is the army model. It does walk around, right? But I cannot move the army right now, so it's kind of kind of sucks. But that's kind of it. Like the borders are inspired on Civilization. I saw a screenshot of Civilization. I was like, I like these borders, I'm gonna do it. And so yeah, I just did these borders. The border radius, yeah, it could be a little bit smaller. It would go to the corner, but it doesn't really bother me all that much. And then there's the selection of stuff. Let me just do that. So currently we have here like cities and armies. I don't know if I'm gonna add castles as well, but maybe not. So here, if you press that, you go to the army and you have the army selected. So now I click the army and that's it. And if you press on the city, you just go to the city and you have it selected as well. Okay, and this is it. Recruitment, resources. So this is what I was working yesterday. I worked on this part over here. So with building and whatnot, and it's still not complete. It's still very much a work in progress. But yeah, it is going, and you can see that the city name is on top of it. But whatever. I am actually I don't know. I'm actually thinking of putting this over here or something like that. I don't know. Maybe the expand and grow should be right there. Maybe the tabs should be buttons right here on the top instead of tabs right here, just to save some space, to make this a little bit smaller. I don't know. I would like the UI to be a little bit more compact underneath, because this is kind of like, this is huge. This is a little monster, right? So maybe I need something a little bit smaller here. I don't know. And for the army, it's the same thing. I would like it to be a lot smaller. But anyhow, this is kind of the state of things right now. So I don't want to get to do this a lot longer than it already is. I think it is. I think it is just fine. I just wanted to show you guys the progress and what I'm doing with the map. So my plan in the near future is going to be to fix the UI for the army selection and city selection and for the terrain. Oh, I didn't talk about the last the last layer, and that was the armies. So here's the armies and the army badges. All I need to do on the armies, it's selected armies. Yeah, you should have a white outline on the army badge, but that's kind of it. That's all that we need. Oh, and by the way, there's the resources already. I also put the resources already here. So this is a where's the resource? Come on. Oh, it doesn't display which resource it has, but this is copper, this is tin. We have horses here that increase your capacity to have horse units. You have grain, rice. You can see all of them here, to be honest. So yeah, you can see all of them here, and they all have their specific bonuses and whatnot. Let me check if there's the look at that. Food consumption, metal, gold. By the way, last video I was saying that fish only gave 5% food boost, so let's find the fish. Fish. 10%. Okay, maybe it's 10%, okay, but maybe I'm gonna change that as well so that the numbers don't get like really crazy. Like a person with a lot of resources obviously is gonna have a lot more resources, but you know what I'm saying. So anyhow, this is it for today. So next week I will probably have more stuff to show you, and I'm really eager to do the next devlog. If you have any suggestions, anything that you want to share with me, or maybe some experience that you had in game development, or some cool mechanics that you'd like to see on the game and whatnot, please share, because maybe we can add it. Maybe we can add it to this to the Valendor and whatnot. By the way, the music is not yet in the game, but it will be in the future. But that's one of the last things that I'm gonna do, right? So first off, I want to do that, but I also want sounds. For example, when you click an army, I want like that marching sound. Yeah, I want to kind of add that. When you click a city, like people talking and whatnot, like bustling city sounds. When you build, like building sounds. Like I kind of want all of that, because I want this to be a game that you could actually play by yourself. I have thought about the possibility of actually making an actual game like that I can put on Steam, that is this one, but with the single player mode, where you will be able to have like AI and whatnot. It's very far, right? It's very far off, but I would like to actually have that, where if people buy the game, they kind of get like lifetime premium and whatnot, whatever. But yeah, I would very much like that. Anyway, this has been it. If you guys like what you're seeing here, do join the Discord, guys. Do join the Discord. It's very important that that you guys join the Discord, start creating some buzz around it, you know, participate in the development of the game, because at the end of the day, this is not just for me, this is for the players. So I do want to listen to that feedback and think about how can I integrate it into the game. You guys just need to keep in mind that it is my vision, right? So a lot of suggestions might just not fit, or might just not be exactly what I'm looking for, but it allows me to understand what you guys are thinking, what you guys want to see, what you guys would like, and to nudge the direction of where the game is going slightly in that direction. But there might be other things that you guys suggest that it's like, yep, I kind of need to have that. That is very important. I don't know. I don't know what right now, because I think I've thought of a lot of stuff that is already in the game. Like the game is super complex, and that is why it is taking this long, and that is why I wanted to run well, because I need the experience to be great, right? So that is the reason behind this whole revamp. I could have been working just on the battles this whole time, and maybe I would be now finishing it up, but I want it to be playable, and I don't think it was playable back then, where you couldn't scroll effectively, you couldn't zoom in and out effectively. You know, the graphics could have been better, and right now I think I have a much better visuals now than I did, and I think it was worth it. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna try to approach this as one one topic at a time, and make it as good as I possibly can. Of course, that perfection is never going to be achieved, but I think this is going in the right direction with the map, especially right now. And probably next week I'm gonna still be working on this, but I will be showing you like the tactical view and a more detailed view. Maybe I'm already gonna have all of these UIs ready. Maybe the resource accrual, that's gonna be ready to go. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to achieve, but that's it. Like, it's what I said on the last video. I just have to tie in everything with the new UI and whatnot, but the new UI is still under construction. Anyway, guys, I'm rambling here way too much. I really already showed what I wanted to show. So, have a great one. Join the Discord channel, and I'll see you there. And in the comments below, you guys can ask me anything about the development and other stuff. Like, I don't know, I could be a life coach for all I care. That could be fun. But yeah, guys, have a great day. I'll see you later.